Hey, it's Adam Grant from Work Life, a podcast from TED. This episode is brought to you by Freshworks. Freshworks believes that complexity is the enemy of efficiency. So stop wrestling with bloated, expensive service software that takes forever to implement and update, where ROI is someday, not today. You've been overcharged and underserved for way too long. Uncomplicate with Freshservice for IT and Freshdesk for customer support. And with Freshworks AI-assisted service software, you'll work smarter, not harder. Freshworks uncomplicates. Learn more at freshworks.com.
On today's Smart 7, the water industry gets a new regulator. Israel launches new offensive in Gaza and much more. It's Tuesday, 22nd of July. It's World Brain Day and happy birthday, Selena Gomez.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
A detailed review of the UK's water system has described it as broken and called for a brand new regulator to tackle the many issues with water and sewage across the UK. Sir John Cunliffe, who wrote the report, thinks only a super regulator like content regulator Ofcom can tackle all of the issues across the water industry. He's warned that it might take until 2027 to establish, but that it will include the current duties of Ofwat, with the powers of the Environment Agency and the Drinking Water Inspectorate, along with Natural England, to provide a one-stop shop for regulation. The government has pledged to immediately implement 5 of his 88 recommendations in a report that is almost 500 pages long. Environment Secretary Steve Reed told the Commons it was time for a clean-up and a white paper will be published in the autumn.
Water companies have been allowed to profit at the expense of the British people when they should have been investing to fix our broken water pipes. They got away with this because of a broken regulatory system.
In the meantime, there was support too from Water UK, which is the industry body for water companies, as CEO David Henderson explains.
I think people have lost patience with the whole system. Anybody who looks at it can see that it's not working. It's completely broken down. And today I think we have a really, really excellent opportunity to make radical reforms that are needed to give us the environment that we need.
Israel has launched a new ground offensive in Gaza, this time targeting Deir al-Balah, an area which has been the main humanitarian hub in the territory, and the World Health Organization says its facility was struck 3 times on Monday. The new assault comes as aid agencies continue to warn that the civilian population is being starved to death by the shortage of supplies and a rising death toll from Israeli troops opening fire on crowds in search of food. The UK and 24 other countries issued a letter of condemnation on Monday of the deaths at aid centres and called for an immediate end to the conflict. Baroness Halick is a former Tory special advisor, and she says the UK needs to do much more.
We are willingly or not part of a humanitarian disaster of enormous consequences for us, for our security, and for our standing in the world.
Dame Emily Thornberry is chair of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee, and she says it's time for the UK to recognise the Palestinian state and push for a peaceful solution.
Recognition has a legal status, but it primarily has a political input. If we recognise a Palestinian state, I think we show ourselves to be a country that wants to be involved, that wants to be an honest broker, that wants to be a force for good, and we think that the way forward is 2 states.
Parliament is due to head off for the summer at the end of this week, but before he got his swim shorts packed, Prime Minister Keir Starmer got a grilling in front of the Commons Liaison Committee on Monday. He was quizzed for over an hour on international issues, along with the welfare bill and the changes that were made, with Labour MP Debbie Abrahams describing the original proposals as far from Labour values. Starmer said he hopes that in 3 years' time the UK will be noticeably better off and that the health service will be working properly for families, but that welfare reform is a significant part of what needs to be done.
I think the fact that there are nearly 1 million young people out of work is a huge challenge for our country. None of us should be accepting of a system that operates like that. It is broken, it needs to be mended.
If you've been thinking about retirement, you won't be thrilled to hear that a recent study found that those who are due to retire in 2050 will be poorer than today's pensioners. It's partly because many people aren't putting anything into their pensions, hardly surprising after a cost of living crisis, but something that will have long-term effects on the British economy. Figures also show 1/5 of self-employed people aren't saving anything, which means 3 million people have no plan for retirement. Work and Pension Secretary Liz Kendall has announced a review into the state pension age, which is currently 66, but the review won't be completed completed until 2029.
Unless we act, tomorrow's pensioners will be poorer than today's, because almost half of the working age population isn't saving anything for their retirement at all.
Still to come on today's Smart 7 in association with Metro, the Lionesses get ready to roar, and Bob Odenkirk is really hoping for a quiet vacation. Right after this.
Out here, it's not only the amazing views, but the way time stretches out a little longer and how the breeze hits just right at the summit. With All Trails, you can discover nature's best with over 450,000 trails around the world. Download the free app today.
Welcome back.
Tuesday night sees the reigning Women's Euro champions take on Italy in a semi-final game that has had anything but a smooth build-up. The Lionesses had to battle through extra time and penalties to secure their semi-final spot, and this week has seen accusations of online racism from trolls on social media towards defender Jess Carter. The game is live on ITV, and they have high hopes of record viewing figures after 7.3 million people watched the quarter-final on the BBC. Alex Greenwood says that whatever goes on off the pitch, the team are staying focused and aiming for Sunday's final.
Whatever we have to do, we will continue to do. Of course, I know our organisation are doing all they can, but the responsibility lies with us in our team right now, and we can only do so much, but what we are capable of doing, we will continue to do.
Billy Porter is an actor, performer and fashion phenomenon. He's also only missing an Oscar to complete the prestigious EGOT title. However, he's more likely to win another Tony Award next with his latest role. He's due to return to Broadway to play the MC in the legendary Cabaret, which is set in 1930s Berlin as Hitler rose to power. Porter says getting to play the role on Broadway is a dream come true.
But my mother used to say something, God's delay is not denial. And all these years later, you know, with the state of the world right now, and you know, with art as my activism, as my resistance, I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
If you've never seen Bob Odenkirk in the movie Nobody, you're missing out. But the good news is the sequel Nobody 2 is on its way to the cinema. Better Call Saul star Odenkirk is the action hero you never expect. He spent 2 years training in fighting techniques for the first movie, and he spent another 4 years training for the second, which makes his suburban dad vibe all the more startling. Nobody 2 sees life get complicated as ex-hitman Hutch Mansell finds himself in debt to the Russian mob, which means his family vacation gets very violent. It hits cinemas on August 15th.
Who is this nobody? Take him out.
Hey!
They're coming after our family. Go fix it.
So what happens? Just another master's vacation.
Let's do this!
I just want a break.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, we'll give you the world.
There's nothing better than treating yourself, except maybe treating yourself to high-end, top-quality pieces at half the cost. That's what Quince is all about. From European linen apparel starting at just $30 to handbags crafted from the finest Italian leather, Quince can elevate an everyday outfit at a fraction of the price. By working directly with top artisans and cutting out the middlemen, Quince gives you luxury pieces without the markup. Go to quince.com/style for everyday affordable luxuries with free shipping and 365-day returns.